And now, coming to you live from an undisclosed location somewhere in the Ozark Mountains, it's Spooky Talk Show with Josh the Devil. And now, here he is, Josh the Devil.
Hey, there we go. Hey, everybody, welcome to Spooky Talk Show. I'm Josh the Devil. It's gonna be a good time tonight. I've got a feeling in my bones that it's going to be a really good show. I can't tell you why. It just is. It just is. We got a lot of things lined up. We've already had some failures. You've probably seen our little messages there saying, "Hey, join our Zoom audience." Yeah, that's not working tonight. I can't work the bugs out of the Zoom audience on the fly. Every time somebody tried to join, the little Zoom window would jump over to a different display. And I spent a good 15 minutes trying to work with that. It didn't work, so here we go. Now, if you've been watching Spooky Talk Show for a while, you're going to notice that tonight a few things are different. So just hold on to your horses. Now, we got a really good interview tonight. That's no different. Wyatt is still with us. But we're going to do some fun things. Before we get to the interview, some nice live things. We were sitting around reminiscing about all the fun live things we used to do and the trouble that we used to get into when the show was completely live. And I wish we could do live interviews again. And, we're not in any way going to stop trying. So when it becomes safe, we will do some live interviews. Again, we'll get some people that are passing through town like we usually do and get them to come on. Now, I got to talk about a couple of things because we're doing some neat stuff on Patreon. We've got 2 new bonus clips. You can watch an extra 20 minutes of Casey Orr talking about all sorts of stuff, and now you can watch 20 minutes of extra footage from Dave Hill, tonight's guest. So if you like what you saw tonight and you want to see some more, well, there you go. Jump on Patreon, which is patreon.com/Spooky Talk Show. I don't have a button for that. Sorry. So jump over there and $1 a month, and then you get access to both of those clips. And we've got a lot of fun things. I'm ordering stickers this week, so the stickers are going to go out to all patrons. And as soon as we get 2 more patrons, then we're going to do a live stream just for you guys on one night of the week. We may even vote on which night of the week the special live stream is. And won't that be fun? We've also got our Teespring site. You can go over there, teespring.com/store/Spooky Talk Show, I think. I don't know. You can search. You can find. It's not that hard. I'll probably forget to put a link down below, so, use your fingers. Okay. We got to keep moving. I lost my headphone extender. It's been a weird day. So I got these headphones, so that's better. I'm going to pop over to this camera. Thanks to Jesse for the headphones, because the headphones are awesome. They actually work on both sides. That's new for me. Most of my stuff is just kind of one-sided or the other. Now, Wyatt and I are going to be getting into some fiery business here in just a little while, and that ought to be fun. So get ready for that. Oh, one more thing. You've got to jump over on our Twitter page, which is twitter.com/spookytalkshow. Now, if you've watched any of the episodes before, maybe you saw Frank and Trace, otherwise known as the Mads from Mystery Science Theater. Well, they've got a show coming up on October 20th that's going to be all shorts. And if you're a Mystery Science Theater fan like I am, you probably like the shorts just as much as I do. And if you do, well, go to our Twitter page, follow us on Twitter, and tweet us your favorite Mystery Science Theater short, because we're going to be giving away tickets to that mad show. I got 4 of those bad boys. We're going to be giving 2 of them away on October 1st. So jump on our Twitter page now and tweet us your favorite Mystery Science Theater short. And I'm going to pick 2 people at random on October 1st. And then we'll do a different contest for the other pair of tickets. They're starting after October 1st, I guess. I don't know. I haven't figured out what that one is yet. Yeah. Whew. So much stuff to get through. One more thing. I lied. One more thing. I'm going to push this button and then push right there. Okay. Our sponsor tonight is The Prop Basement. So if you jump over to thepropbasement.com and you put something in your cart and you use the promo code SPOOKY, you get 10% off. Now, there's only 10 of those, so you got to jump over there and do that fast. There's all sorts of things at the Prop Basement. You can get yourself a Han Solo blaster or a thermal detonator for your Star Wars collection, or you can find all sorts of other neat things. All right, hold on. No, not that. Oh, gosh. Okay, that button. I added a lot of new buttons. All right, give me a break. This button, and then there we go. See? I'm sort of on top of things. All right. Oh, jokes. Let's get to the news before I forget what I'm doing. First up, a neighbor in Tampa, Florida called police on Tampa Bay Lightning fans yelling, "Shoot, shoot," while watching a Stanley Cup Finals game. The neighbor was checked into the boards and given 3 minutes in the penalty box for being a fucking Karen. All right, what else is going on? Well, an unreleased documentary about how psychedelic drugs have helped former basketball star and Kardashian husband Lamar Odom will feature his work with the director of the documentary, who has no medical background. Now, Odom overdosed in 2015 at a Las Vegas brothel, suffering 12 seizures, 6 strokes, and he had his heart stopped twice. But, I mean, that was preferable to being around the Kardashians, so let me check the math. Carry the one. Yeah, drugs helped. There we go. How about some fake laughs? Our fake studio audience thought that one was awesome. I'll put a rim shot in there just because it's out of place. All right, what else? Well, I think this one's going to be our writer Paul's favorite joke. Fall Out Boy and Weezer competed recently on Celebrity Family Feud. Wow. I mean, there's proof. There they are. Now, Fall Out Boy came out on top, and their friendly trash talk included the lines, "Sugar, we're going down swinging," or "You're going down swinging." Oh, I'm messing it up already. Oh, Paul, I'm sorry. I told Paul to write me more jokes where I sing, and then immediately I messed this one up. I'll start over. Fall Out Boy came out on top. Friendly trash talk included the lines, "Sugar, you're going down swinging. I'll be the number 1 on the buzzer. A top answer, complex, cock it and pull it." Rim shot, and then boo. That's all right. That's okay. Get out of there. Is Hacksaw still around? Hacksaw comes in to save the day. Okay. We're all right. We're okay. What else? Well, railroad company Amtrak is allowing customers to see the number of seats available on a train when they're booking in real time to maximize social distancing. Amtrak, which relies on state and federal subsidies to stay in business, has not turned a profit in its 50-year history. Because traveling on Amtrak is how you maximize social distancing. You don't have to check it. You don't have to check anything. I'll put some applause. It's a safe bet. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to. They didn't have to do anything fancy. There's no one on the Amtrak train with you. That's all I'm saying. Oh gosh. Okay. Oh, this one's fun. Retail clothing company Yandy, known for releasing topical and often controversial sexy costumes at Halloween, announced it won't be releasing a sexy coronavirus costume. Boo. They have released Tiger King inspired costumes and a band app costume inspired by TikTok this year. And they've previously They've previously released sexy costumes such as the sexy Mr. Rogers and the sexy Handmaid's Tale costume. But I guess we're not supposed to want to fuck the coronavirus? Even though the coronavirus has fucked all of us? Ba-dum-bum. And then laugh. And then immediately boo. Yes, that's the appropriate response. That's it right there. Okay, finally, California Governor Gavin Newsom issued an order last week that said California will ban the sale of new gas-powered cars and trucks by 2035. California, a state whose residents regularly lose electricity, is attempting to make all their cars electric. California is currently experiencing negative population growth, and I guess making sure people can't leave is one way to reverse the trend. Hey, and a few fake laughs just for fun. And Hacksaw comes back, and everybody claps. That's what you get here on Spooky Talk Show. Oh, Wyatt, where are you? Wyatt, come in and save us.
I'm here, man. I don't know if I can save you though.
Oh, well, all right. I guess that's asking a lot.
Put me back. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna move up here. That way, okay, you're on my. Now we're on the same level there.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're much bigger than I am, but that's okay. Now, if we want a high five, I'm gonna go this way, and then you go. No, the other way.
What? It was the other way last.
I know. I moved this. I flipped this. It's my fault. It's my fault. I pulled that Joe Biden thing where I put you on a different side and then you didn't know. It's all my fault though. It's all my fault.
It's okay. I'm getting
now,
there.
Wyatt and I didn't have a whole lot of time to come up with a bit to do tonight, so we kind of threw something together. Now, both of us are, I think it's safe to say, both of us are fairly lightweights when it comes to spicy foods. I think we're not like, mayonnaise is spicy wimps, but I'm definitely not the guy who's going to bite into a pepper or put anything more than like a habanero on my tacos.
I kind of stop at like the 2 chilies on the menu. Like the 1 chili I could do on the menu. The 2 chili, I'm like, I have to ask questions.
Yes.
Or just avoid the dish. So.
And now there are certain peppers I've never tried. And I do, unfortunately for me, red pepper, like crushed red pepper, just messes me up, gives me wicked heartburn, but I can douse that habanero stuff on and I'm okay. So I don't know where we're going to be tonight. Now, I did not prepare myself well. I have some water.
Yeah, I've got a beer.
And that's about it. And I took an antacid ahead of time. I don't know if that's going to help.
I'm glad you mentioned that because so I found this wonder drug called Prilosec.
Oh,
it's the most amazing drug for 40-year-olds.
Now, is that the one that's currently undergoing a lawsuit?
No, that's Zantac. That's the one.
Okay,
that's the one that'll give you the cancer. So yeah, and I don't think you can buy that anymore unless you like go on the dark web or something like that.
Larry the Cable Guy has done us right with Prilosec. Yeah.
Prilosec's the one, man. It's the little purple pill. I'm not trying to sell you or maybe get Prilosec to sponsor us next week. Let's see, you got the voice. And the face for radio.
This week on Spooky Talk Show, presented by Prilosec.
I think it would work, man.
Wyatt and Josh eat stuff. Hey, Shane Gray's online. Shane, listen, I wish that we had our Zoom thing set up and that you could join us. I've been saying, like all day, I've been spitting out this thing going, hey, here's our link, follow it on Zoom. And I should have tested it more before I ran my mouth, but you know me.
There's always next week.
Yeah. So let's show them what we got here. We got some of these Pocky haunted ghost peppers. Now, hold your comments. We understand that these are not like what hot sauce enthusiasts would consider hot. We understand these are not the one chip challenge. It's the same company, but I will say it has a show them the back there. It's got a little heat
the hot
scale.
Meter. Yeah, it's blowing up the heat scale.
But for $1.99, these can't be insane hot, and you get a whole bag of them. Now, Wyatt, I got to be honest. I thought about pranking you.
Oh, did you? Oh, good.
Because I found these Pocky zesty salsa verdes, and these are just kind of hot. And so I thought about dumping these into the bag, pulling the old switcheroo.
Yeah, kind of heat seal it back.
But I'm not going to do that. I thought, I'm not going to do it. So, all right, let's open these bad boys up.
Are we doing it? All right.
They don't.
That's a hearty chip.
They're not giving me any kind of crazy smell.
Not really. I mean, they kind of smell like dog food. I mean, they do. They smell like
new Pocky chips. They smell like dog food.
Yeah, well, and they're a hearty. They're a sturdy.
That's a thick tortilla chip. That's not just a Dorito.
No.
All right. Well, I guess there's nothing left to do. Wyatt, here we go. Let's do some Pocky Haunted Ghost Peppers.
Cheers.
All right. Immediate spice.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, they're pretty hot.
They're not bad.
They're not bad. They're very flavorful.
They're flavorful. I mean, I like the corn flavor.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can still taste a good corn flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just having a drink because they're very salty.
They're salty, but they're hot.
Yeah. I'm more curious about how long the heat lasts.
I don't know.
That's my question, is how long. So I'm just going to eat this one and just kind of let it sit here. And
well, it's not so unbearable.
It's already fading, and it's not unbearable. Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah, I can't imagine like eating these like on purpose, like going to the store and buying these. That sounds like such a terrible idea. Like as like an experience / experiment. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah,
I was actually kind of nervous.
Like, I was too.
What's going to happen here?
Now, let's see. I was watching. I don't know if you watched Review Bra. He's a YouTube reviewer who will do fast food reviews. A lot of fast food. So if somebody's got a new item out, he'll go and try it. Popeyes has got their ghost pepper wings. He went to try those to see if they were any spicier than last time. Of course, they weren't. His complaint was the spice mixture has a lot of spices and there's just a little bit of ghost pepper. So we've got ghost pepper, cayenne pepper, chipotle pepper powder, and then that's it, really, and like chili powder. So, but ghost pepper is up there at the top. It's the first of the peppers, and there's even more ghost pepper than potato starch. So, you know, yeah, that's not bad. I'll eat another one.
Yeah, it does hang on. The heat hangs on. But yeah, this is fine. I don't want to hiccup. That's the thing. I didn't want to be on your show just freaking out. I'm gonna get there though. At some point. This is our starting point.
I can deal with the front end heat. It's the back end heat, if you get my meaning. That I was a little more worried about.
Yeah.
So
so far so good.
These clearly were not that hot. Unfortunately, I guess this was.
That's a good place to start. I mean, you want to start low. Yeah.
Well, there's the Death Nut Challenge, so I thought maybe we do the Death Nut Challenge, but those are pretty freaking hot.
Okay.
I don't know that I want to do the one chip challenge. I've heard stories about the aftermath of the one chip challenge.
I don't know the one chip. What is the one chip challenge?
Well, it's the same company here, Pocky, or Pocky, I don't know. But instead of getting a whole bag, you literally just get one chip in a package.
Weird.
And
how much does that cost?
I'm not 100% sure.
I'm curious now. How much does one chip from this company cost? But it's so hot that one chip is all you need. That's what they're saying.
Correct. And that was a big YouTube challenge for a while. Let's see how much the Pocky one chip is.
Sorry, folks at home. I'm sitting here burping.
Yeah. Well, as long that's fine.
We're just live on the air burping and playing.
Oh, come on. My nose is starting to run. I will say that. Now, the one chip challenge is the Carolina Reaper.
Okay.
Which that's in a different category, really, from the ghost pepper. I do see that the one chip is gluten-free.
Nice.
So theoretically, I could eat it.
Solid.
Oh my gosh, it's about $40.
What?
Yeah, it's about $40. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing. Oh, okay, $23.41, $45 on eBay. Oh my gosh, $50, $30. Oh, this guy's got it for $17.95. So I don't know. I guess we could get a good deal on it if we wanted to.
That's bizarre.
The reviews, sheer terror. I give 5 stars because this is the most terrible thing I've ever experienced. I've eaten a Carolina Reaper before, so I thought this would be a walk in the park. I was very wrong. Okay, wow. Huh. The Reaper is waiting. It says, okay, wow. Yeah, all right, I'm gonna blow my nose for a moment.
I love it. This is good TV.
Turn the mic back on.
This is great TV, man.
I will say it's just been a few minutes, and my lips are okay. I just got I've got the tongue.
Yeah.
The tongue thing. Now, here's what's going to be funny. When we're done, I'm going to go and let my girlfriend Blake try some of these. And she's going to taste this and immediately call us total wusses. That's what's going to happen.
Well, I'm sure she is.
But
we're
not
should. Freaking out. Yeah, like we start low. This is good. This is like a good baseline. Next week will be a little more frightening. And then we'll be on her level in about 10 or 15 weeks.
I don't know if I want to do every week in a row. I'm thinking we give me a little time to order some stuff. Because I think this is about as hot as I can find in our store. Yeah. In our local stores, just going and these I found at Walgreens of all places.
Weird.
So give me a little time to research and order something in the middle, because I the only thing I know to order would be the one chip challenge, and we're not going there straight away.
Not yet.
So now, if you're a hot enthusiast and you've got a nice stepping stone for us to suggest, put that in the comments down below, and we will totally give you credit if and when we try that. So maybe next week we'll do something else. I don't know what we're gonna do next week.
You tell me. Huh?
We may review a movie or something. I don't know what we'll do. We'll do some improv or something. We'll
try.
I don't
know. We'll work on our yes ands. We'll make something work.
Okay. All right.
The people want to see it.
Well, we've got to do something, because that really only took us about 10, 12 minutes. And
I mean, we could keep going. I mean, we could finish the bag.
I'd rather not, to be honest, but you go right ahead.
You know what I worry about? I worry about the kids that eat this kind of stuff every day and what it's doing to their bodies. Because you're putting this material in there. But I guess, there's whole cultures that eat this stuff on a regular basis.
Stuff like this doesn't quite bother me as much. These are in at least the organic food section, and they seem, they're an Austin, Texas company. They seem okay, but it's the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. The kids who will eat like bag after bag of the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Like, what kind of chemicals and crap are in there that you're eating?
And all that. Yeah.
And this is no preservatives and no artificial flavors and ingredients. So, I mean, that's at least a little something. That red color, those Flamin' Hot Cheetos, that's not natural.
Yeah, that's not natural. That does not exist in nature.
No.
Not in that form.
Oh gosh. Okay, so before we jump, we got a really good interview, Wyatt. And I know that you, like a lot of people, are just hearing the name Dave Hill and you're going, "Who's Dave Hill? Why do I know Dave Hill? Why is he on the show?" And you'd be right. I recognized his face and kind of recognized his name, knew he was a comedian, and our good friend of the show, Chris Gersbeck, said, "Hey, he should come on. He's good. He's got a podcast. He's really funny." I said, "Hey man, I trust you. Come on, let's do it." And so then I started researching him, and honestly, it was the most pleasant research I've done for a guest. No offense to any of our guests, but I realized quickly that from just Wikipedia that he was in the band Sons of Elvis, which I know none of our younger viewers are going to know, but any of you Generation X guys will probably remember their one hit, Formaldehyde. You may not know it off just me saying it, but if you went and listened to it, you'd go, okay, yeah. They played the Jon Stewart show, and but more recently, his band Valley Lodge has the opening theme song for John Oliver's show on HBO. And he's got another band called Painted Doll, and they just released an album, and it's fantastic. And then there's his metal band with the amazing backstory, Witch Taint. So if you're into Norwegian black metal and or the comedy stylings of, say, Andy Kaufman, well, then you're going to love the story of Witch Taint. It's quite something. Okay. Well, we're ready to go, Wyatt. Hopefully we'll pass these ghost pepper chips without any problem. And next week
we'll let you know next week. Yeah.
Next week we'll do something. We'll improvise a little something, and then the week after that we'll go back into the hot. Shane, thanks for watching live and chatting along. If you want to chat along live in the chat, we love it when you do. That's it for the live portion of the show. Wyatt and I are going to say goodbye, and we're going to go to Past Josh. And Past Josh, well, he has no idea. He thinks these things are hot as shit. So, like, the feeling is already gone. Like, there's not even any numbness. It's already gone. That was that quick. So, a little disappointed, but we'll figure something out. We'll do something hotter later. So there's the Pocky haunted ghost pepper chips. It says, warning, it's frickin' hot, an insane amount of ghost pepper, even more ghost pepper. The heat is real, and they even underlined real. But Wyatt and I are not spice lords, and we're here to say,
not impressed.
It's not that hot.
I mean, it's hot, but it's
hot,
whatever.
But I'll do a Mystery Science Theater joke just for the mysteries. It's honestly not that bold. That was for you guys. Okay, so we'll try the Death Nuts at some point. They just step up and get hotter and hotter. They're just coated in more and more insane coatings of things. And then at some point, now if you guys, I don't know if you watch Hot Ones, which where the interviews, the guest and the interviewer eat hotter and hotter wings. There's one sauce I don't even think it's a sauce. It's like an extract, and it's been on every single season of Hot Ones because it is the worst. That's not necessarily the hottest, but it's always the worst for any guest to get through. It's called Da Bomb. So if one of our viewers wants to send us some Da Bomb, we would try it, but that's the only way I'm trying it. I'm not ordering that crap. I've never seen it in a store, and I've looked. If you want to send us some Da Bomb, you send us a message. We'll set up an Amazon wish list for insane crap that people want us to try, and there we go.
I just like hearing you say Da Bomb.
Da Bomb, yeah. A white guy saying Da Bomb is good.
So ridiculous. I love
fuck no police and all. Yeah, it's
culture. It's funny.
Yeah, sure. I'll throw a couple of other things. We're talking about doing like a drag makeover. So we'll have to set you up with a box ahead of time, and then we will have to follow a tutorial.
Okay.
If you're game.
Let's do some makeup, boys.
Yeah. Well, listen, you gotta use what you have in your toolbox, and for some reason, I've got that in my toolbox. Not my personal toolbox, but I have access to a toolbox with that in there.
Makeup in it.
With makeup
and a ring light. I need a ring light so we can do a real tutorial like they do.
Ooh, that's fancy.
I know, right?
I don't know if we can afford that. We need some patrons. Hey.
Buy us some ring lights.
Buy us some ring lights. Or honestly, you can use that 10% off coupon on the prop basement and get yourself something cool. Okay, well, I guess that's enough yammering for us. We're going to jump over and see what Dave Hill had to say. So from present Josh here in the live world and live Wyatt. Okay, we got to try high five. Right there. There we go. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
We do it?
Pretty good. Yeah. Your hand is much bigger than mine, so it's a little interesting. Yeah. I'm like your little buddy. I'm like, all right. Okay.
Hey, guy.
All right. We're going to shut up and go to the amazing interview with Dave Hill, and then we'll be back at the end to tell you guys to piss off. So here we go and go. Hey, Dave, are you there? Can you hear me okay?
I am here.
Oh, man. Thank you so much for coming on our little show. It just means the world to us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, our good friend Chris Gersbeck recommended you, and I was like, oh, I know him. He's a good, funny comedian, and I like his style.
Thank you.
But I did not. I was very ignorant. I was in the dark. I was assuming I was just having a good, funny comedian on. Nay. I'm having a good, funny comedian on who's also an incredible musician as well. And
thank you.
And has performed in at least 2 bands with songs that I know. Going all the way back to the 90s. You were in one of those, I would say, like really standard alternative rock bands from that era.
Very like
Sons of Elvis. And
post grunge.
Yes, the post grunge sound. It was that to a T. And the big hit, Formaldehyde, which I have to say it's all bass driven. The song is all the bass line. So kudos to you for that, because the guitar player is really not doing a whole lot that's interesting. The part that makes the melody song, that's the bass. That's the bass line. I'm saying that I'm a bass player, so I'm a little biased.
See, Bass Brothers. I was a bass player in that band. I play primarily guitar now. I was always a guitar player, but then when we formed that band, we didn't have like big amps or anything, so it was more fun to play bass because you could feel it in your feet, even with like a little PV combo. So I was like, I want to play bass. Around. Yeah. So we would trade off, and then one day I just sat down and kind of noodled around, and we decided, I was like, I want to do this the whole time. We'll stop switching.
Nice. And there you go. And you guys played on you were one of the few bands that got to play on the Jon Stewart Show, which makes me jealous, because I think basically every band that played on the Jon Stewart Show was like the coolest band of the era. It's kind of a it was rite of passage.
It was cool. Yeah, it was really cool. I remember, I think the week that we did it was like Van Hagar was playing like the next night or something like that, and we got to, it was us and there was an actress I can't remember.
I watched the clip recently, and she was not someone that I could remember. I'm like, I don't even know who that is, but yeah.
And Sam Elliott, the actor.
Sam Elliott was on there, yeah.
And then the cast of Stomp.
Right, that's a big show.
Yeah. And I remember like, this is probably my Midwesternness coming out, but I remember being embarrassed because Stomp had so many cast members and we had a bigger dressing room, and I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. They should have our dressing room. There's only 4 of us. I didn't do anything about it, but I did say it. But
nice enough to at least feel that for them.
That was the most rock week of my life, because I was just a pretty young thing, and we went and did that, and then like either right before or right after, within a day or two, we came back to Cleveland, where we're from, and Slash's Snake Pit was on tour.
Yeah.
And Tad, you remember Tad, the Seattle band?
Yeah.
Like sort of a grunge, but like a true grunge band.
I'm trying to remember their
Not
album
grunge derivative.
had dogs on the cover, but I can't remember what the album was
called.
Yeah,
they had an album called Inhaler that had dogs on the cover.
Yeah.
That I think Jay Mascis produced. And so they were supposed to open the show, and then I knew the promoter and stuff, so I remember I called him and asked if, we could come to see the show, because I wanted to see Tad. I want to see the whole show. And then he called like the day of the show. Something happened with one of the guys in Tad, and they couldn't do it.
Oh.
And they called my parents' house, and I was like, that motherfucker's calling to say he's not letting us into the show? And I came to the phone, and he's like, what, would you want to open the show? And I was like, yeah. So anyway, it's a very rock and roll, very show busy week.
No kidding. Man, that's just the tip of the iceberg with music for you. You're that lifelong musician. You just can't stop the songs.
I can't stop rocking.
Because you can't even commit to one band. You've just got to dip your toes in as many of them as you can. I love that. So we've got, Diamond Snake, with a pretty impressive people you're playing with there. Cobra Verde, Valley Lodge, which that's all I did yesterday, folks. All I did was listen to songs by Valley Lodge. Immediately you'll recognize the song "Go" if you have any kind of coolness at all, because it's the theme song from John Oliver's program. And so I got to hear it with words, and wow, awesome. So I listened to that, and then we've got I want to talk about Witch Taint, and I don't want to say the name too many times, or I'm going to start getting the demonetization thing. But before we jump over there, you dropped some big news on me about your band Painted Doll. So give us the Painted Doll scoop.
Well, Painted Doll, I have 3 bands at the moment because I'm an idiot. And
no, that makes perfect sense.
Painted Doll is my band with my buddy Chris Reifert, who is better known as, formed the band Death with Chuck Schuldiner when he was like 17 years old. And so he's known from that, and then he has a band called Autopsy, which is legendary in the death metal world. And we met, actually speaking, well, I guess we'll talk about Thor later, but I'm trying to think of what year, it would have been maybe 2016 or whatever. Autopsy was playing at the Housecore Horror and Film Festival in San Antonio, Texas. And so I went to see them, because everyone's like, you gotta go see Autopsy. And it turns out that Chris and his wife were big comedy fans and had recognized me from my basic cable appearances. And we're like, hey. And so I ended up hanging out with them, and we hit it off and kept in touch, and started trading music and formed this band. And this is our second record, and it's called How to Draw Fire, and it's out today on TP Records. And it's like psych rock garage, stoner rock, power pop. It's just a bunch of rocking.
I love it. Is that available on all the standard platforms? People can jump on iTunes and go get that right
everywhere now? Yeah, and it's
awesome.
I actually have it right here, totally coincidentally. Purple vinyl.
Ooh, purple vinyl.
Somewhere in there.
You were talking about language.
And CD and all that. Yeah.
Oh man, awesome. My money's on purple vinyl. I'm not gonna I like the download for convenience, but if there's a purple vinyl, that's got to go on a shelf there.
Totally.
Okay, so everybody can go over to davehillonline.com, which is a great convenient place. You can find all sorts of stuff. I found books and CDs. You've got several books and several CDs. We've got Tasteful Nudes, which I love the title. Dave Hill Doesn't Live Here Anymore. We've got Parking the Moose. And then you've got a new CD called The Pride of Cleveland, as well as Let Me Turn You On. So your comedy needs are met right there just by jumping over to davehillonline.com. And what I love is the music section. There's a little great music section. So then there's links to all this stuff. So if you guys want to go check out Valley Lodge and see what I'm talking about, you go check that out, and Painted Doll as well. Let's talk about Witch Taint, because the concept, the idea of Witch Taint just makes me giggle. I love it, and I watched the little video, the little guitar lesson video, which was great.
For a Guitar World.
Some of the best makeup I've seen in a while. Just perfect. So guys, go check that out.
Thank you.
Not right now. Go check that out when you're done with the show. So give everybody watching a little information about Witch Taint.
Witch Taint, it started, some people, probably most people at this point, if you're into music, are at least vaguely familiar with Norwegian black metal. I feel like it's pretty, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like it's pretty, people at least know what it is. But back in the early 2000s, when it was not really, I don't think, in the sort of cultural zeitgeist the way it is. Like now you see it, parodies, and I think even like the Virgin Airlines or Virgin Atlantic or whatever airline even has like a black metal character in their like safety video animation, which feels so.
That may be overdoing it a little, but that's all right.
I know that's the
included. That's fine, I guess.
So, but so I was just I've always been a metal fan, and I was into Norwegian black metal, and just out of boredom I started or probably like 2002 or 2003 I started emailing Norwegian black metal bands that were all listed on this one black metal website, and I would just say, as this character Lance, teenager who had a band called Witch Taint, to just insult them and ask them why their music, why they sound like such pussies and things like that.
Now, this was just for fun, right? This was just your idea of like a good time. Was there a point to it? Did you see a goal, or
none?
Was this just for fun?
Just for fun. I didn't envision it as anything that anyone would even see besides me, because it was just to entertain myself. And I had a couple friends, my friend John Kimbrough and another buddy who were into black metal, so I would show them the emails on occasion, and then kind of forgot about it for a couple of years. And then in 2004 I was like, oh, I'm gonna do this again. That was fun. And I emailed this record label and just started the whole thing over, started again, and this kept going, because in the past the emails kind of petered out after a couple exchanges, fuck you.
I was going to ask, sort of what kind of response rate did you get from the bands? I have to imagine that most of them would just ignore it, just because, somebody says you're shit, you're like, all right, whatever, you delete the email. But I mean, how many do you think you wrote, and how many think wrote you back?
Maybe like 1 out of 3 would write back.
Well, that's pretty good.
So there is like an earlier. But then, at one point I emailed this record label, and the guy wrote back, and we kept writing back and forth, and I was like, you should sign my band, Witch Taint, and there was a whole backstory that I was just kind of making up as I went along, about living with my mom, and she needs a computer and this and that, and it went on for like 6 months, and same thing, I would only show it to my friends John and David, the only 2 people I knew in the world who would be entertained by it. It was not meant to be like anything beyond that. And so eventually, they started showing other friends, and another friend, Jeff Watson. Well, now I'm friends with him, but I didn't know him at the time. He wanted to put it on a website, so he built a website, and you can go to theblackmetaldialogues.com, and you can read the whole email exchange, like unedited.
Oh, nice.
And it takes, I don't know, 20 minutes, half hour to read it, and so that came out, and then within a day or two, of all places, it ended up on Gawker when that was still a website.
Yeah.
So so it went all over the place very quickly, and then people just kind of knew about it all over, and I started making Witch Taint t-shirts and would sell those like all over I knew when I was like, people were ordering them from like Norway and stuff, I was like, oh, this is
this is serious now.
Something's happening.
Yeah.
And but I kind of forgot about it. People would just ask about it every once in a while, or it was just kind of, I guess, like a truly kind of cult underground. Not that it's not that now, but it was just kind of whatever. And then a couple years, in 2017, because people are always like, oh, like you should read these on stage.
Sure.
And I remember I sat Kurt Braunohler, if you know him.
Yeah.
Hilarious comedian. He and Joe Mandy, another hilarious comedian, and the three of us got together and read them in my apartment one day. And then, we just never did anything. And then a few years later, my friend Trish Nelson was like, if I book a show, will you do it? So I asked my buddy Phil Costello, who was in Diamond Snake, and he's a musician primarily, but he's hilarious. And so I was like, would you want to read these with me at St. Vitus? And we did it, and it was like, when people loved it right away. St. Vitus in Brooklyn, which is, legendary metal club.
Yeah.
And we did that twice at St. Vitus, and, just kind of, the first one was just us and hastily applied corpse paint, and we just read the emails. Then the next one we added a little something. And then the third show, I got asked to do comedy at South by Southwest in 2017, and I was like, I'm doing this thing Witch Taint now, could I do that too? And they were like, yeah. So they gave us a night at the Hideout Theater on Congress, I think, and I remember we got together, put our makeup on in the hotel and stuff, and just walked over to the venue kind of as the sun was setting, thinking no one was going to come to this show. It was like, maybe 20 people will come, and then we'll get beers and it'll be fun. So we get up to the theater, and it's like something out of a movie. There's like a line down the block.
Nice.
And we were literally like, what's going on here tonight? There must be something else. There must be like another
something else is going on. Can't be for us.
Yeah, we thought for sure. And the show was sold out, and it was super blast. And so we did that, and then from there it kind of grew. We did it in London, and then we got asked to do it in Oslo at the Crap Comedy Festival, which is a great festival I had done before. And so with that, by this time, I knew some people in Oslo because I'd been going there a while to do comedy, and then some black metal guys came out to the show, even word had gotten out about the show, and I was friendly with Fenriz from Dark Throne, who's kind of the godfather of black metal and metal in general, pretty much. And so I emailed with him, and I was like, I'm going to be in town. Do you want to get a beer? But I didn't want him to see the show because I was like, he's going to be offended by it or something. And then he's like, well, let's go out Saturday. I was like, well, I have this show Saturday, and I don't know. He's like, I'll come to the show. And I was like, I don't know. I told him what it was. He's like, yeah, I'll come. And he really liked it, so I thought that was a good sign that he liked
his approval, then, yeah.
Yeah, so we did that, and then we got asked to do I'm making this a really long answer, but we got asked to do the Wacken Open Air Festival in Germany, which is the biggest metal festival in the world, like 100,000 people.
Yeah, so that's got to put some anxiety on you.
Yeah.
You're like, how are the fans going to react?
Yeah,
but real fans.
At the same time, the whole thing with Witch Taint just felt like a scam and a joke anyway. So anything that we did, I didn't really have we didn't have these high hopes for anything. Everything that happened, we were just like, we fooled people again. Not that we didn't think it was good, but we just kind of thought we're just kind of running with this stupid thing that started with me writing emails in my underwear.
Yeah.
And so we did it there, and by then we had added 4 songs to the show, and we're in the middle of a tent. Judas Priest is on one side of us, and whoever Danzig's on the other. It's crazy, and people were just staring at us because it's mostly people from Europe, and why are these guys in corpse paint just reading from their laptops?
Right.
And then so but when we would play the music, people would go fucking crazy. So after the second day, we were like, let's just be a band. Let's just be the band.
Let's just go all out.
Because the big part of it was because I play in bands anyway, and because I'm a comedian, when we would do the show that was just the comedy show, and I played a little guitar in that anyway, people just always thought it was a band.
Sure.
No matter, and we even got to the point where we put on the flyer, this is not a music show by a band, it's a comedy show about a band.
Yeah, I
and
could
even
see.
even that wasn't enough for people. So finally we were like, fuck it, let's just be the band. So we recorded this record, and then we got we got like our friend Jennifer, aka La Sinistra, sings opera on the record, and then we got other friends playing in the live band, and so we've been playing shows, and we but now like everyone who does anything, it kind of ground to a halt, and our album came out April 10th, sort of as the fun of the pandemic was just really getting started.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get back out there next year at some point.
That's good to hear. I know the Witch Taint fans will be excited to hear that.
Yeah, we have T-shirts in the meantime. We have shower curtains.
Shower
hot
curtains.
Sauce. Yeah. I found I don't even own one. The shower curtains are amazing. I've met people who own them. I do not own one myself, but I hope to one day. I'm just not ready for it.
I'm gonna have to go check that out right now. Well, or as soon as we're done. All right. Witch Taint shower curtain.
Yeah, it's a must.
That's going to be on everybody's Christmas list. So, yeah.
It's my girlfriend wouldn't. She said no. I asked her if we could have one. She said no. So that's why I don't have one.
Oh well. Now, briefly earlier, you mentioned Thor. Thor is another one of those guys who just can't do just one thing. He's got to dip his toes into all of his fancies, and so a lot of people know the metal band, the classic metal band Thor, and then they're still a band, sort of like Anvil. If anybody knows the story of Anvil, Thor is not that dissimilar. The only difference is the lead singer, John Michael Thor, fancied himself as an actor, director, writer, producer, and was not just couldn't just be satisfied playing in metal shows. No, he had to make movies, and so Zombie Nightmare and Rock and Roll Nightmare are two of my absolute favorites. Rock and Roll Nightmare especially, I could watch that movie over and over again. It is hilariously bad. There's at one point there's clearly a prop guy off screen throwing small foam starfish onto Thor, who is reacting like they're horrible monsters, and just things like that throughout the entire movie. So if you haven't seen Rock and Roll Nightmare, or what's also called The Edge of Hell, so if you see either, go and watch that now. And anybody like me who watched the documentary I Am Thor realized, holy crap, he's still touring, he's still performing shows and recording new music. So when I saw that you had an interaction with him and had joined the Thor train, even if briefly, I got to know more. So give me and our fans the inside scoop on your work with Thor, if you don't mind.
Okay, so Thor, amazing guy, amazing everything. The documentary I Am Thor, which I think is on Tubi now.
Okay.
If you know that.
Yeah.
You can watch it
that's
there.
Probably free. It's probably free to watch then.
Yeah, it is. And there's a lot of amazing stuff on there. But yeah, it's on there, and so he was playing at the Phil Anselmo's Housecore Horror and Film Festival. The movie was going to be playing there, and so Phil had the idea, let's put a band together and have Thor play a show. So he asked me if I would play guitar, and I was like, of course, fuck yeah. So as I was telling you before we got started, the band originally was going to be Johnny Kelly from Danzig on drums, and we got together and practiced once, and something happened and he couldn't do it, and so Jimmy Bauer from Down and I Hate God and a million other great things he played drums, and then Blue Gonzalez from Superjoint and the Illegals, he played drums for part of it, and then Scott Shelby, who plays guitar in Warbeast normally, he played bass. So we go down there, we practice, it's in San Antonio, and there's all these bands are playing, all these great bands are at this festival, and so I go over. He's playing at there's shows in this big theater, the Aztec Theater, and then there's this rock club where they're doing shows. And so I'm leaving the hotel to go over. This is where it turns into a movie. So I'm leaving the hotel and I see Thor, and he's he's this mild-mannered Canadian guy, just just John Michael Thor, just a sweet guy. And he's like, "Oh, do you mind if I walk over with you?" I'm like, well, "Of course. Why would you? You don't need to, So he's going, and he's got this rolling case of like his Viking helmets and all of this, he's got all this stuff with him. And we go over there, and we go into the venue, and like a show is ending, some band's ending, and like we walk in, and they're just like, the club, doesn't know who he is, because he's, he doesn't look like Thor, because he's doesn't have any Viking armor on or anything. And, and they're just kind of like not really giving us anything. And then and so finally I'm like, where can we change and stuff? They're like, oh, down in the basement. So, by the time we get down in the basement, there's just like no one in the club. And I'm just like, fuck, like no one's coming to this show. Yeah. And the club is being really dismissive of us. And it's just this, I'm like, this feels like a bummer night. But then we go down the basement and like, we get ready, and some friends had brought, like Scott Shelby brought like gauntlets for me, and nice. Another friend, Larry Holmes, gave me his leather vest, which I still have now, and I wear it in Witch Taint. So they got me out, and then another guy, I can't remember his name, they like oiled me up, so my non-biceps would shine in the stage lighting.
Yeah,
key
looks better. Yeah,
totally. So we did the full, so it was basically like heavy metal fantasy camp.
Yes,
they're getting me totally ready. And even I even had Dimebag Darrell's original guitar tech was my guitar tech for the show.
Not bad.
He was kind of the stage manager for that venue, and so it was just amazing. And then so we go up, and I'm thinking like no one's coming to this show, and we get upstairs and the place is packed, and everybody from every band at the festival is just everywhere, like the guys from Negative Approach are there, and like the guys from Crowbar over here, and like everyone's on the side of the stage, and it was just such an amazing vibe, and everyone's like, that was the best show of the festival, because the vibe was just like so, at what you want a show to be. It was just like everyone was there together, and it was just kind of like the band and the audience is all one, and just playing these amazing Thor songs. And there's videos somewhere of YouTube of some of the show, but it's labeled like not well, like it's hard to find.
Okay, well, if we can find that, we will put some links to that then. If we
I have a very bad haircut. And but it was pretty amazing. And then I got asked to play with Thor, and after that show I was like, when are we touring with Thor? Let's just keep this be a band. And it didn't happen. And I did get asked to play in the band again with a different lineup, but I couldn't do it. So hopefully maybe at post-pandemic it'll happen. But
I got a feeling he'll be ready to go again. I think
I hope
as soon as possible he'll have some new songs ready. He'll have some he's doing his email work right now, and I got a feeling, and he'll be ready to go. He's probably already lined up producers for the next album and things like that. He seems like that kind of guy to me.
He's a force.
Oh gosh. Okay, man. Let's jump now to the present. Over on your YouTube channel, which we will link here, you've got a very cool podcast, which is not like your standard traditional podcast, which I like. Most podcasts on YouTube, pretty standard. Just a couple of guys sitting at the mics talking. Pick a topic and go. Yeah, your show's not quite like that. A little more interesting, a little more daring, a lot more guests, a lot more things happening. And now we've got a name change because it was called The Goddamn Dave Hill Show, which is probably not ideal for YouTube and monetization. Now we've got the Dave Hill Good Time Hour, which I love. It sounds like a variety show, and I'm
it's
all
just
about it.
Blatantly stolen from Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour. But what happened, I used to have a radio show called The Goddamn Dave Hill Show on WFMU in New Jersey. And before that I had a podcast called Dave Hill's Podcasting Incident. And then so I ended that, did the radio show for 5 years, and then went on a hiatus from that, and then went back to Dave Hill's Podcasting Incident. And now during this pandemic, my partner in crime, Chris Gersbeck, said, what if we did the Goddamn Dave Hill Show on Monday nights as a live thing again on the internet? So I was like, yeah, we'll do it for like during the pandemic, which I thought was like a 6-week commitment.
Right.
Truly, I was like, oh yeah, we'll do like a handful of episodes and then the world will return to normal and this will be all over.
Little did we know.
Yeah, so we kept doing it, and then we were simultaneously doing the Dave Hill's Podcasting Incident, and then anyway, blah blah blah, we decided let's just do one thing and change the name to, I don't know why. Oh, I know, because my dad never liked the Goddamn Dave Hill Show name because he's a gentleman.
Sure.
And if I can name drop, Mary Lou Henner, the actress.
Yeah.
Oh, I've done her radio show a couple times over the years. She told me she didn't like the swearing also. So I thought between my dad and Mary Lou Henner, maybe I should just change the name.
Yeah.
And so we're calling it the Dave Hill Good Time Hour, but it's been a slow transition because we were like, oh, we got to get a cool logo first. Let's do that. So
right. There's
so we almost have the logo. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's what we're doing, and hopefully it'll all snowball into something. I mean, it's fun. If nothing else, it's fun.
Give us a typical example of a Dave Hill Good Time Hour. What can you expect during that hour?
Well, it's we try to do it as similar to the radio show used to be, where people can call in. So we have phone calls, and we're still working out I'm sure it's very easy to fix, but we have not cracked it yet, like how to do that smoothly without time, without a delay.
Sure.
In the calls. So we phone calls, and then I have a segment called the Crime Blotter, where I check out local suburban crimes in northeastern Ohio.
I love that. That's good. There's got to be some weird sounding stuff going on. There's got to be some oddball things. Do you remember any off the top of your head that just?
I mean, I'm a big fan of. I know the true crime, murder shows and things like that are the craze right now.
Oh yeah.
But I've always been a bigger fan of the more innocuous crimes. Lesser crimes, like things where you're like, wait, why did someone call the police about this?
Right.
That's my sweet spot.
Yeah.
And it'll probably, I don't know if it's gonna, but yeah, like someone left chocolates on her front door, a gift, and there wasn't a note, and she called everyone she knew, and no one owned up to it. Called
malicious.
The police. As you would call the police. Yeah. Someone else found empty beer cans behind the garage, so they called the police. There's stuff like that. Yeah. There's things like, people get violent. They break things when like a pizza order is wrong. Things like that. And I try to. Anytime anything turns really dark, I try to leave that out. Sometimes I just read the headline without reading the story, and I start reading it on the show only to learn that it turns a little darker than I'd hoped. Yeah. But usually I read them ahead of time and vet them a little bit. But yeah, I love a crime that is arguably not a crime.
Yes, I like that as well. There, here locally, there was a guy who used to comb through the Northwest Arkansas reports, and he would put together a list, and then he would try and connect the dots, because there would be things like a woman called because her dogs were barking and something had knocked over a trash can. That sounds like an animal. That you don't need to call the police for that. But then, he'd find a place that was 4 streets over where someone called because there was this over here, and he would try and make up a narrative to figure out as if they were all connected, when of course they weren't, but there's
a bit of that in the crime blotter as well. Yeah,
there's gotta be some weird things that seem like they could connect.
Yeah, there's some towns, if there's a town where people have livestock, forget it. Forget it. All sorts of hijinks.
Oh no, I can
those
imagine.
Things get loose. Whatever they are, sheep, goats, pigs.
Oh my gosh. Oh, no lack of comedy in the police blotter. Let's talk about your pedal show, man. I love the fact that you and I was telling you beforehand that I think this is a good idea and you need to continue it.
I think you've inspired me. I think I'll do an episode when we finish.
Most guitar honestly, most music gear reviews they're the most painful things to watch. If you've been in the position where I am, where you're needing to buy a small amp, you're needing to buy a fuzz pedal, and you get online thinking, I'll watch some guys try out some different pedals and figure out which one works for me, or I'll do this, then you know what I'm talking about. It's painful. It's awful. They are people who should not be in front of a camera. They're they don't show the useful things. They're usually just there to show off, and you don't really learn anything other than they're a show off. And these things are not true with your pedal show. So I recommend all my musician friends that are watching, go over to Dave's YouTube channel and start watching the pedal videos, because if you've ever watched any pedal review video ever, then you will watch his, and then you will immediately smile for the length of the entire video, because it's the opposite. It's the opposite of those painful, god awful review videos that just. Okay, I'm gonna get off that.
You.
So please do some more.
I will. I have a bunch of pedals here, just ready to go.
Yeah, well, there we go. So no shortage of content there. So I expect to see some new videos coming up there. Man, is there anything else that we need to talk about? Something we need to promote, get people aware of, send some people to a different direction? Or is there a story that you were just dying to tell?
Well, gosh, I mean, it's weird. I talk to my dad almost every day, and it's crazy because I live in New York City normally, but I've been hiding out in this small town in northeastern Ohio for the last 6 months, where I came here for what was going to be just a few weeks, just 3 or 4 weeks. That's it. Weeks, yeah. Threw a couple pairs of underwear in a duffel bag and heading on out of here. But my dad lives about an hour or so away in a retirement community, so I'm not allowed in, because they're keeping them safe. Sure. But he's like, "What's new?" And every day I say, "Absolutely nothing." No, but I'm out here. I'm sort of getting back to my painting random objects. I'll actually, if you can wait 1 second, I can show you what I've been getting up to.
Totally.
I'll it's going to be worth it. I'll walk over here. All right, I'm back. So when I used to live with my sister in Cleveland, and I used to paint random objects. So I started doing it again. I painted.
Oh, wow.
This is a shovel. It's
Yeah.
very like, you could give this, it's kind of, if you look close, it's kind of a cool shovel, but you could also give it to your aunt and she'd be like, oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
And it says crucer or whatever. It was French for dig.
Yeah.
I thought it would give it a level of sophistication
I love that. That's awesome.
if I made it in French.
Oh yeah, everything has more class if it's in French
Yeah.
and cursive, then yeah, that's as fancy as it gets.
Yeah, totally. So that was my thinking. Cursive French, and I was gonna say you could charge $20 more, but I don't think I'm gonna. I'll probably just give it to someone. And then so I bought that shovel for $3 or $4, and then I bought this mirror at a
Wow.
like a
Hold
flea
on, full
market,
screen. There we go.
and that is
wow.
I'm calling it the deer mirror
Yeah.
because it has a deer and the antlers wrap around. I think when this was $3, and when I bought it, I think it said like "Welcome Home" or something.
Yeah.
And
That is too cool, man.
and I paid $3 for that, and so yeah, I'm at the painting random objects phase of the pandemic. That's kind of
I see another business venture there. People send you an object, you paint it, you send it back. I mean, come on. That's easy and simple. All you have to do is sit there with paint. You don't even have to have things to paint. They'll send it to you, you paint it, you send it back.
I know I did get some offers, but
I can imagine those are gorgeous.
thank you. But I'm sort of I don't want to get. I think like I'm probably in that middle. Like if you were like, what is this painted object worth? There's that price. Then you sprinkle my Z-list celebrity onto that item. Then you're charging $20 more. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm being bold. Now, if I killed somebody,
Ooh.
it would be a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. There's probably something that I could do to instantly make these things more valuable. I don't know what it is.
The trick,
other than make
the trick
Yeah.
is to do something that doesn't involve you dying or going to jail, so that you can enjoy the money and not be dead.
Yeah, I can't figure it out. I don't know what it is. Maybe if I publicly demonstrate some sort of weird savant quality. I don't know. I haven't cracked it yet. I guess I could just do a better job. That's probably the answer.
Well, I don't know about
Do a
that.
better job.
I mean, you've got a pretty good list here of some amazing stuff in front of me. So, and that is a much better use of time than anything that I'm looking around and seeing that I've done. I build movie props for weirdos.
That's amazing.
And so, like I made a Gleaming the Cube skateboard, and like that's the kind of things that I've been doing here.
Oh my gosh.
And so, like, Tom Servo and things like that, and building, puppets and.
There's your whole place is full of what I'm seeing is just.
Oh, this is just a corner though. This is
I know.
my little corner where I have to cram all my cool stuff in. No, actually, I've got a pretty good amount of cool stuff. I'm lucky.
I feel like it continues. I feel like it extends beyond the camera. I'm confident. Whereas all I have, normally my place in New York has a lot of cool.
Well, show us that Danzig picture. I commented on it earlier, and that is just. I'm sure it distracted everyone that's watching this interview. That the whole time they've been going, "What is that behind him?"
Danzig. I don't know if it would be Danzig in Repose or whatever. And it's killing me. I can't think of the artist's name because I really want to give her credit. But I can say my friend Kevin McComb asked her to do it and send it to me.
Well, if you find out before Sunday, just let me know. Send me an email.
Oh, I can do that. I'll ask him.
And then we'll put it on the screen or something fancy.
Because it's really beautiful, and I am a big fan of Danzig for many he gives us so many reasons to love him, and it's really a cafeteria. It's a buffet of like, you're like, I like this about Danzig, I like that, maybe this. Anyway, so, but I fall almost entirely in pro Danzig across the board. And so this showed up one day, and I was very excited. And this is actually, I have to think about it, but it is not my only Danzig artwork that has been sent to me. Custom. Another artist, I can't remember his name, he sent me a photo of me and Danzig, a painting of me and Danzig together.
Nice.
Before I had ever met Danzig, and then I met Danzig.
And then you met Danzig.
So, literally life imitating art.
Okay, well then, I've got to ask, tell us about the time you met Danzig.
Okay. I met him, this would have been probably about, I don't know, let's say 2015 or something. Okay. I could, if you gave me a minute, I could really pinpoint it, but offhand, it was around 2015. And bringing up Phil Anselmo again, his band Supergiant Ritual was touring with Danzig, and they were playing in Philadelphia. So I went there to the show, and 'cause it's just down the road from New York, and my sister lived in Philadelphia at the time, so I made a wild night of it.
Yeah.
I went down there, and I went to the show, and I had a bit too much to drink, which factored into my thinking after the show that certainly Glenn Danzig would be thrilled if I walked on into his dressing room, because so he's in his dressing room with his bandmates, and then Phil Anselmo and his wife Kate are in there, and they're all chatting. And I was talking to guys in Phil's band, one of the guys, and I was like, "Oh, let's go hang out with Glenn." And he's like, he kind of was like, "We don't just walk into his dressing room."
Yeah.
But I really had quite a bit to drink, so I was like, "Sure, he'll be thrilled. I'm just gonna go say hey." And he was a delight. He didn't. No one stopped me or anything. He was a very, very nice fellow.
That's so good to hear. That's good. That's how I like the stories.
Yeah, yeah. You want it to be. It was all
to be
very
super nice, and yeah.
Super nice.
Super nice. Okay, good. I've never met anybody who had a up close and personal encounter with Danzig, so had to ask.
They're rare.
I gotta find out if he's a jerk, because if I hear stories that he's nice, then if I, for whatever reason, see an opportunity, then I won't hesitate, and I'll go, "Oh no, I hear he's cool.
Yeah,
let's go chat."
I'm sure he's a complex figure like we all are.
Oh, I'm sure.
But no, I think he's elusive, because I did try to meet him before, and he like vanished. Like
yeah, I bet. You see your chance, you got to take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drunk Dave knew. This is it. I got to go talk to Danzig.
I think that was the real difference of. I think that's why I met him, is because I was drunk enough to think, this is a good idea. I'll just walk in and introduce myself. Whereas normally sober Dave would not sober. In a normal state, I assume that no one would possibly want me to say hello to them.
Oh man, well that's a positive story for being drunk. I don't know, we haven't had those very often.
Yeah, we don't have enough.
Usually, when your drunk voice says, "Do that, it'll be a good idea," even though no one else thinks that's a good idea, that never ends up going well. So man, that's an anomaly for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad it all worked out.
Oh, Dave, I could chat just about fuzz pedals for another hour or so. And not even lose any problems, have any problems, or lose interest. So we're gonna have to end it here. But everybody needs to jump online, go over to davehillonline.com, pick up the new book, which is called Parking the Moose. pick up the newest CD, which is called The Pride of Cleveland. And of course, jump over to his YouTube channel so you can start watching the Dave Hill Good Time Hour. And I noticed that old Jonah Hill stopped by recently, and he
Jonah Ray.
Jonah Ray. Sorry, Jonah. I'm
Fix
sorry.
it in post.
I got Jonah's in my brain.
No, I mean,
I'll leave that in there. I don't mind that people know I'm an idiot. Jonah
no,
Ray,
you don't.
And
I mean, it's
I got a Tom
you have
Servo
Dave
tattoo.
Dave Hill and Jonah Ray.
Maybe that's what it was.
Jonah Hill. I think that's what your brain did.
We'll put that on my brain there. So jump over there. Hopefully, we're going to see some new pedal review shows coming.
You've inspired me. Maybe I'll whip up a pedal show tomorrow. I'm overdue.
You're going to get one view from me and a like and probably a comment.
Thank you.
Anytime you want to come back, if you've got another band that's got another album release, if you've got a really extra special episode of the Good Time Hour that you really want to promote and you want to stop back by here and chat, or if later today you remember, I forgot about that other story about Danzig or Thor or whatever, I don't need much of an excuse. You can just come on back. So anytime the door is open, I'm going to go listen to some more Valley Lodge songs with my new headphones. Thanks to Jesse for sending me my new headphones, because otherwise I had these earbuds that just one of them works and that's all I had. So it was kind of sad.
I hate when that happens.
So thanks to him, I got to drop that in there. Dave, it's been a delight talking to you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
You just stay safe. Keep making music. Keep doing the funny stuff. And we'll keep watching and listening, and we'll see you next time, okay?
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Right. Where's my camera? There it is. Hey, we're back. Okay. All right, well, that's it for Spooky Talk Show for this week. Dave Hill was quite a delight. Very enjoyable. You should check out his band. His band Painted Doll has a brand new album. You can go check that out on iTunes and such. And one more mention that you can use code SPOOKY at thepropbasement.com and get 10% off your order of awesome prop replicas and other fun things. Okay, I got too many buttons. That's not the right button either. Okay, hold on. There we go. Oh boy. Oh, okay, you guys. Well, I'm gonna keep eating these Pocky chips, and they're really not that spicy. So, you guys, stay tuned next week because we got some gas or some. I don't know. We got something. So piss off.